Good morning, my beautiful friends and family. Welcome back to the channel. So I just got off the phone with the place that has all of our hardware right now that is redoing the zinc. Hindsight being 2020, wish I would have just redone it here myself, but it is what it is. They said that should be wrapped up tomorrow. So that gives us 1 day to do other shenanigans while we wait for the hardware. Of course, the car cannot go back together without hardware, but what can happen, let me move my lunch that Bobby packed me. Shout out to Bob for the walnuts or cashews. What can happen is we can get all the hubs reassembled. I just went and picked up some high temp disc brake wheel bearing grease from the auto parts store. So these guys need to be all pressed back together. I'm waiting on some more studs. I don't know if you guys noticed, but these are, let's see, these are the fronts, these are the rears. The fronts are re-drilled to a 5-on-114. Factory on the FK is 5-on-120, and factory uses a 14mm stud, whereas every other car in the world pretty much uses a 12mm stud. So I had them re-drilled the 5-on-114 for a 12mm stud, had the rears re-drilled. Never mind, they're not re-drilled. These should already be 5-on-114, I hope. I think they are. I believe this is 114 stock. Let me get out the Google. Yes, indeed. I guess I could have measured, but 2019 CRV, which is what these rear hubs are, they are already 114. The machine shop had these because they had to mill that down a few millimeters for axle protrusion. But anyways, let's run through, get all these assembled. Like I said, wait on the other 10 wheel studs. I'm gonna zinc those gold to match everything else that we got going on. I'm gonna clean up the surface where the disc sits with this prime buffing wheel. Before, after. All right, the first front is complete. Now, of course, we just need to take our hub, press it in, press it all together. We'll be good to go. But first, I'm gonna get all the bearings installed into all the hubs. All right, let's see about pressing one of these guys together. Oh, I'm getting old. Now I'm wondering how much to press it together, because I feel like you could go too far. Let me take a look at the other hub. Maybe there is a little step for a stopping point. Yeah, I'm guessing that collar goes all the way down, seats right against that. So press till it stops, I suppose. All right, she's bottomed out. Still spins like butter. Hub number 1, complete assembly is done. All of the hubs are complete, minus the studs. Now we're gonna move on to something that a lot of you guys commented about. Well, I guess it'd be 2 things in total, or maybe 3 things in total. And all of it has to do with the fuel cells, which I agree with all of it. First up, I want to build some sort of fuel cell strap. Now, I don't know if it's completely necessary, but it's definitely not a bad idea. And then as soon as we're done building the straps, there's some other stuff I want to tackle as well. But let's get both tanks mocked up in here and figure out what we can do to properly secure these guys to the chassis. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mounts total for each cell, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm gonna run in and grab probably some 1/8 inch thick steel, and hopefully they can trim it down to about 1 inch wide. I'll go from right there, underneath, pop up, throw a little mount somewhere up in here, and same with this side. From that bracket right there, underneath, pop up over there. $6 later, we got a 50 inch length, 1 inch width, 1/8 inch thick piece of steel. Let's see what we can do. All right, there's the start of the first one. See how she fits the cell. I changed it up a little bit. So instead of going from this mount right here where the fuel cell already mounts and over, I decided to pop it off of this brace. So I'm going from there to there. I'm gonna slap some riv nuts in there. We can put the cell back in and I'll show you guys how it's set up. All right, boys, there we have it. There is the first strap for the first cell, all complete. Now in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mounts per cell. If I remember correctly, the stock tank, of course, it is plastic, so it's a little bit different, and it's OEM spec, not Devin Niemela spec, but it had 1 strap across the whole thing, and then it had like 3 mounts on it. So in total, we have 14. Stock has 5, including the strap. We should be good. I have both of the straps made. I do plan on putting some sort of rubber insulator in between the strap and the cell. Also went ahead, slapped in the rear subframe just for mock-up and the rear diff, because the next thing that we need to move on to is the passover. So of course, fuel only goes into the driver's side cell via the OEM, yes, OEM spec here, via the OEM fill neck. So it's gonna go in through there. And as of right now, it has no way to get over to the passenger side cell. Initially, I was like, cool, easy enough. We're just gonna do -16 from the back corner to the back corner. But then if you see over here, there's no space. So I think the next best option is gonna go on the inside right here, which isn't very ideal in my opinion, but it's the most ideal option there is. So we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there, and then I'll probably do a 45 down and just loop underneath the drive shaft, or I guess it'd be underneath the diff. So not ideal, but this right here is certainly better, in my opinion, than that right there, because that would be the lowest point of the car and hitting something on the road and this bung ripping off the cell, and you lose all your fuel and you blow up your car. That would be a Remy situation. So we're gonna go right here. It ain't perfect, but I think it's my best weld yet, and I'm stoked. All right, so we got both bungs welded on the tank. There was another bung for, There was another bung for a vent hose for the filler neck that I welded on. Now the next thing that a lot of you guys were concerned about was not running fuel cell foam. I got you. In this box, I have a substantial amount of fuel cell foam. And if I remember correctly, this takes up like 1% of your fuel capacity. I could be off on that number, but pretty much nothing. And what this does is prevent sloshing in the fuel cells. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So on the fuel cell with the hanger, this is gonna be easy to install, but the fuel cell without the hanger, which is this guy right here, it would be impossible to install because the only hole we have is that hole. So I have another product. Let me go to the mailbox and get this product. This guy right here. This is a little, I think it's like a 4x6 plate. Came with the gasket. And we're just gonna slap this somewhere on the tank. Not only is it gonna allow us to install the foam, but also we need to be able to clean the insides of these things before we fill them up with fuel. So yeah, pick that up. Let's go ahead and get her cut. All right, so the next step in this process from here would be, in the very last step, would be to go ahead and pressure test both fuel cells. And we cannot do that because I do not have a way of securing the plate yet. I need some riv nuts, quarter 28 riv nuts for that, and quarter 28 riv nuts for the fuel hanger on the other cell. So that's it for today on the cells. I'll pick this video back up when we get the hardware tomorrow. And if we don't get the hardware tomorrow, I'll probably just go pick it up and redo it all here myself because I'm sick of waiting around. All right, boys, it's the next day. I know I said I wasn't gonna pick up the camera until we got the hardware back. And guess what? We still haven't got the hardware back. So I'm not sure what's going on. I just talked to him again. Initially, it was a 2-day turnaround. It's been 7 days and still ain't got it back. But anyways, we're headed out to Josh's right now for some shenanigans. I'll explain when I get there. Joshua and I were out the other day hooning around in the Honda.
I did him dirty. Put it at 1,000 when he was turning around and I didn't tell him.
This motherfucker.
He wasn't ready.
I think we broke it. I broke it. Beta broke it actually. Turned it up.
I broke it too with you.
Yeah, true. So here's our problem. She's now a front wheel drive car.
This thing's a beast front wheel drive. Look at this. There's no feedback, no front tire spinach.
Damn. Sure. So we got to pull the T-case real quick. It's only 4 bolts to get it out, and we got to figure out what happened. I'm guessing the hypoid. I think the hypoid broke.
That was the only thing that was factory in this anymore. It was cryo treated, and it had IAG transfer gears in it, but I don't know. IAG. Look at we were just talking about this. PPG, sorry. So I don't think IAG makes anything for Hondas.
Well, it shouldn't be too much carnage. Hopefully the trans is fine. If the T-case is shot, I don't care.
The biggest carnage, guys, how much this fluid is.
Yeah, true. Well, I'm reusing the fluid.
All right.
Just filtered out the metal chunks, put it back in.
It'll be perfect.
All right, let's get this T-case out.
I knew you'd reuse it.
I have to.
We need
special.
it.
It's clean. Why wouldn't that?
There ain't gonna be nothing wrong.
It's just a Honda.
You just sheared your shaft right off.
This bitch will run on Mountain Dew if we want it to.
Let that drain for a moment. And then you get to see how bad your gears are.
The gears are fine. The shaft is broken. I guarantee it. There's nothing.
Well, hypoid's not a shaft.
I know.
Hypoid's a gear. I guess spinning is better than not spinning.
Yeah.
That would be a bad day. At a big moment. The thing's awfully shiny.
Someone RTV'd her together, you noob.
I didn't put that in there. That came pre-assembled. I bought this trans lightly used, guys, so it already had this T-case in it.
I don't want to drop it into the pan and then all the oil goes everywhere.
Then all your fluid everywhere?
That'd be fun.
Is that spacer a separate piece, I think?
No, I think it comes with the T-case. Ready?
Ready.
I don't see any chunks.
I don't see any chunks or anything. Let's see if we got a complete gear. Yeah, that looks good. That's a good day right there. Take it to the bench.
Which bench?
Here. Daddy will move his laptop.
Hey, Josh.
Well, that's a problem.
I think we done broke it.
I think we did.
There's a little bit of material.
By the way, you guys know he's not the fat ass. I'm the fat ass. The pizza in the background.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, come on, guy.
What?
Nothing.
Got your bench
You have
dirty?
the luber up.
Fuck. I had a diagnosis. There. You happy now?
I think that's supposed to be
Oh,
spinning right now.
fuck. Oh, that's... Thank God. I thought it broke the billet part. That's just the OEM.
That's the OEM piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty broken.
Yeah.
That's probably why it was such a bitch to get out.
Yeah. 100%. How is it not leaking? That's weird.
It's because all the sealant.
True.
Yeah, you did just rebuild one of these. It looks like a pretty straightforward deal. This is my first time. I guess I've seen one out. I just haven't seen this one out. You'd be spending the big bucks if that was the billet part. Thankfully, it's just Honda that failed us.
Did they make a billet one of those?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Hmm.
You probably should look.
That's probably not what...
I don't think that normally breaks.
Yeah. Just when you're doing third gear pulls and can't hit third with your...
And then grab third.
That guy still missed gears with the sequential. Pretty sick.
I thought they were automatics. They
Essentially.
just grab a gear, right? Is that some metal chunks in there?
That's crazy. The whole thing broke all the way around.
What?
Holy fuck.
Oh yeah, that's a little...
That's nice.
Leave it to you
Mm-hmm.
and me.
It's all that boost. That's where all the boost went.
That's where it all went. It was sideways in third, and then all of a sudden we were standing still with normal traffic. We were in front wheel drive motion, which those tires in front wheel drive, not the best. It's a pretty fucked up unit.
I could just go grab my stock T case real quick.
You could really, you could put it in it and drive it other than that gear. You'd have to put that gear in.
It'd probably break just starting it up.
Probably.
Okay, there's that.
At least you're a Honda professional.
Nice.
I'm gonna go if you need a hypoid. Is that the casing that's fucked up too, or no? Doesn't look too chewed up. That looks pretty fucked up.
It'll be fine.
You can polish that out. So what happened? We broke that, and then that's what did this?
Yeah. That's, I mean, it's fine, but it's just chewed up. It's a little fucked up.
Dude, that case is hammered. Oh my, how big was this thing before? It was that big. Look at all the chunks.
Yeah.
I didn't
Fuck.
realize they were that big.
All the way up to there. Yeah. It's sheared everything off. That's a lot of power. You built a Honda. That's fast.
My damn fake dyno numbers got you.
Fuck.
Must have been that 200 wheel Fury that did this.
Well, I'll probably just order a whole fucking PPG set then.
Rip. That gear's pretty fine. That's the main one, right? Or is it on the shaft?
I don't know. I need to Google this. What's the next weak point on this car, Josh?
I don't know. The axles probably?
I guess we'll figure it out.
I thought we originally broke the axles because this thing has 500 horsepower front and rears, and I figured if it put 500 at the front and 500 at the rear, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But
Apparently it's fine for now.
apparently it is because it took out your T-case first. How's it looking here? I mean, it looks nice and billet-like. Looks nice and clean. Can't really show.
Any carnage?
No. Your light.
Perfect?
Yeah, it looks perfect.
Nice.
Which that gear looks perfect anyways.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about that. One thing to note, guys, we saw the marks on the drive shaft right there and was coming in contact with that bolt, and there's a good amount of space. These bolts either A, worked themselves loose or came loose, and this was not properly mounted to the T-case, so that would create unbalanced issues. Not that I think that is what caused this, but what was that?
Is that everything I need?
Yep. Because then you'd have this that goes onto it.
Well, it so it's this gear here, and then this
That's the opposing one.
would be the output.
Yeah. Because that you should be able to reuse that one.
That's not bad. 2 in stock. Fuck yeah.
Better order 10.
I know.
I would think with the right one it would live, and we probably should set up our strain gauge a little better. Blame the tuner.
Fucking Josh breaking all my shit.
Your tuner doesn't know how to set up a strain gauge and took your shit out.
Damn, I need an O-ring too.
Your boy left his hand on the shifter too.
I did. I didn't know.
Strain gauges are pretty expensive. I didn't tell him that, so definitely my fault. Should have told you to lift your hand.
It's your fault. Pay for it, bitch.
There you go. All right, I'll take her back. Half price.
Half price, deal. All right, so here's a quick look at everything that we're gonna need to replace. We need the PPG hypoid set, so it includes that gear right there, and then the output, as far as I know. It did have the PPG shaft, so the shaft right here with that gear all the way out, that is PPG, and then it does have the Drag Cartel billet case, or the billet housing, which thankfully that's in good shape. It's a little bit chewed up internally, but where it seals, still fine. And then this bearing housing as well is completely split open, as you can see right there. So it took out quite a bit. It could definitely be worse. And then as Josh was showing you, for some reason the drive line was loose, and I think these bolts started backing out and then it got bent. I don't think they got bent and then backed out. One was actually completely sheared off, and those 3 are completely bent. So that's all that. About $2 grand later for the PVG set, we should be back up in action. It did have the stock hypoid, it was just Cairo treated, and I'm assuming that's why it failed, because of course all that sauce going through this little guy. She needs the best of the best. I'm sure we're gonna start finding all the weak links on the Honda as we turn it up more and more and more. It was on like 34 pounds when she grenaded the T-case, and it was in 3rd gear. It wasn't a launch or anything, it was actually in 3rd gear, which is pretty crazy. But I'm sure as soon as we fix this, if we keep it at that high end, near 4-digit power level, we're gonna find more issues, or more weak points with the car, I should say. But it's all fun. It is just money, right? Lots of money. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know we didn't get our bolts back, but I'm gonna go there first thing tomorrow. If they're not done, I'll just bring them here and do it myself. Peace out. I will see you boys in the morning.